Okay, a best friend. A best friend is just what that is. A best friend is not a regular friend. A best friend is not a regular friend. I have a best friend of 20 something plus years. When I met my best friend's oldest child was like 2 months old. She's 32 now. That's a best friend. Now, normally when I get on here, I like to talk to y'all about stuff that normally like clouds my brain with stuff. But this particular time, this didn't cloud my brain. Actually, what I was doing was I've been talking to my best friend for the last 5 days. And we've been talking about a host of stuff. Just stuff that you talk to best friends about. But this particular time we was talking, my best friend kind of got emotional. And I'm looking at the phone like, wait, do I need to catch the next flight to where you are? But nevertheless, this is what happened. So before I go any further with this story, hi, my name is Monica, and welcome back to this channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as you know, this is a story time. And this story time is about my best friend. And see, I tell y'all about her all the time. I talk to y'all about her all the time. But this story that she told me, she gave me permission to tell y'all. So this story here actually hurt my feelings and it hurt her feelings to tell me this story because now keep in mind, I have poured me some whiskey. Now, I poured the whiskey because this story pissed me off. Like, it pissed me all the way off because, See, when I was dating the narcissist, when I was dating my narcissist, she was dating a narcissist too. But her narcissist was more like toxic. He was toxic because he had her believing a host of things that wasn't true about her own self. He had her believing stuff that just wasn't true. And because she was believing it, she lost faith in herself. Well, this particular day, she got a phone call. And when she got this phone call, the phone call told her that she seen her car with him driving it with another bitch in it. And I'm thinking to myself, she was thinking to herself like, oh, okay. So, of course, she called. When she called him, she told him to get the fuck out. When she told him to get the fuck out, because she had told him to get out, because this wasn't her first rodeo, because she had been through this before with this asshole, this whole ass, that she knew he was going to kick her door in. She knew he was going to kick her door in, so she called herself being prepared. She called herself being prepared for him kicking her door in. She fell asleep on the couch. In her living room. She fell asleep. But somewhere in her conscience, her mind told her to get up because somebody was standing over her. Little did she know he had climbed through the side window. When he climbed through the side window, she immediately woke up because she felt a presence standing over her. She knew that he was ready to fight because she could tell in his face. So the fight broke out. But when the fight broke out on the couch, by him being a man and by her being laying on the couch, the fight broke out as she was laying down. Somehow or another, she got to the floor. The fight pursued to where she fell to the floor. Now, see, I got to tell y'all about him. He always wore Timberland boots. Whether it was spring, summer, fall, or winter, he has on Timberland boots. When she hit the floor, he started stumping her in her face with these fucking Timberland boots. He didn't just stump her in her face, he kicked her in her face. He kicked her in her face and then somehow or another, he got a hold to some regular Clorox bleach. When he got to hold to the Clorox bleach, he poured it all over her. Now keep in mind that Clorox was, she said she could see the Clorox turning her clothes white. And by her seeing the clothes turning white, that means that bleach was getting on her skin. Now, when my friend was telling me this story, immediately I started thinking to myself, oh my God, this is getting ready to be tragic. I knew this story because I had gotten involved in it this same day, but nevertheless, he saw the bleach turn her clothes a different color. He drug her all the way to the bathroom. She's steadily crying and carrying on. The bleach is burning her skin. Her skin is actually turning red. This is what she's telling me. Now, keep in mind, this was years ago, but still, she's telling me this story, and I'm getting pissed off like I am right now. I'm getting pissed off because she's telling me this actual story. But because she's telling me this actual story, I'm listening and I'm focused. She said, Monica, he pushed me into the shower with my clothes on. Started peeling her clothes off of her. The bleach is actually making bleach burns on her skin. She's crying. But keep in mind, her kids was not at home. They did not know none of this. So Hours and hours goes by. She's begging and begging and pleading with him to let her go to work. She's crying, but her face is swollen. Her lips is swollen. She's bleached. She's covered in bleach. You can smell the bleach clearly because by the time she got to me, I can still smell the bleach. The bleach was still on her. I can still smell it. But at the end of the day, she's begging and pleading with this man to please allow her to go to work. She's telling him. She didn't get to the point where she's lying and telling him, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job. I cannot call off. Somehow or another, because of whatever he was on that day, whatever he had took prior to him getting to her house, tearing her house completely apart, she was begging him to please let her go to work. Now, keep in mind, she finally convinced him to allow her to go to work. When she got in her car, she made it down to my house. When she came down to my house, you can smell the bleach in her skin. You can smell the bleach in her skin. And she used my phone. When she used my phone, she called his brother. When she called his brother, dumbass number 2, when she called him, he came to my house. I got in the car with him. She got in her car. We had called the police to meet us at her house. So by the time the police, when she pulled up, the police pulled up, and he was still asleep. And now, keep in mind, she opens the door. When she opens the door, the police wakes him up and tell him what he done to her. Now, this is my thing. This is the thing that killed it for me. When she was telling me this story, she said that once she had hit the floor. Now, I knew the part when I seen the police arresting him or when we got to the house. But she had just confirmed these parts to me the other day. And this is what caused me and her to get emotional. She got emotional. I got emotional. Plus, I got pissed off because he pissing me off right now. Okay, she said that once he had got her to the floor, she kept trying to get up. He kept telling her, stay on the floor like the dog that you are. Stay on the floor like the dog you are. He just kept calling her a dog and making her crawl all through her own fucking house. And I thought to myself, like, what the fuck? And she kept telling me, like, Monica, I was so hurt. She was telling me this story. It got kind of quiet on the phone, and I heard her crying. I heard her crying because this was years ago. My best friend moved recently, and she moved out of town recently, and she got a happy life. But when she was telling me this story, I kept thinking to myself, like, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this? And I didn't want to get mad at her. I didn't want to trigger anything for her. But I felt so bad when she was telling me this because you can still hear the hurt. You can still hear that she was hurt. And I kept thinking to myself, like, well, why did he do these things? And then she kept saying that he kept telling her that he didn't remember what had happened and all this. He went to jail for like 8 months or whatever the case may be. But he kept telling her like he loved her and stuff like this. But even after that, he never put his hands back on her. But he still continued to do the same shit that caused them to do the same shit that caused them to get into it from the start. But I think what pissed me off even more is that his brother, the same brother that came to my house, the same brother that said that he was going to defend her, went back and told the bitches, the same bitch that he had in her car, he went and told her this same story. He told her how he had kicked her in her face. He told her how he had poured bleach on her. He told the other bitch all of my best friend's business. Only for these hoes to call my best friend and tell her about what he had did to her and laugh at her and stuff like this. And I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. I never could understand, like, my thing is, if he's messing around with these women, why do you use ammunition against me to make yourself look better with them? And these dumbass broads thought that they were better than her. So I think the reason why we was talking about it is because my best friend was telling me, she was like, Monica, I can't even stand the sight of him. She was like, I could never see myself ever being with him again. She said, it's stuff like this that I remember that was so tragic that it has totally turned him into a bitter pill for me. She was like, Monica, I would rather, I think she said, wipe her hands with shit or some old stuff like this than be in a relationship with him. My whole thing is, I told her, I said, listen here, girl. I said, you made it. You got out. You got out. If you see your opportunity to get out, get out. And she got out. My best friend got out. Not only did she get out, but she left. And when she left, she didn't look back. And I'm so proud of her for that. But I think part of her healing process was that she had to get that off her chest. She knew I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know anything about him super mistreating her that particular day. I knew the part where I had kicked in, where she had came to my house. I knew that part, but I didn't know none of this other shit. But when she was telling me, it was pissing me off. But at the end of the day, what is a best friend for? See, you can have friends all day long. Everybody has friends. But only a best friend will walk through fire with you. Only a best friend will actually take that step with you. Only a best friend know that they will get into a fight with a motherfucker knowing that they're going to lose. And still try to get in that fight with you, to fight with you against something that's hurting you. And see, I'm that best friend for her. She is my best friend. So at the end of the day, she know if I had knew anything about that, I would have tried to jump on him. But because she is my best friend, she came to me to talk to me about this. So I'm glad that she got this off of her chest. But I'm just pissed off that she didn't tell me until... Normally I get on here and I tell my stories. But because this is a part of my life, because she is an important part of my life, I had to tell y'all this story. I did get permission from her to repeat the story. I left her nameless and I left him nameless and shameless. I did. We're going to call him Shameless. From this point on, when I'm talking about him, we're going to call him Shameless. But at the end of the day, I think I got on here to tell y'all her story because it was a part of her healing process. So see, this is where I think I'm most proud of her at, because she has evolved so much since she's actually left him and left the city. She has. And I'm so proud of her because she's moved on with her life. I'm so proud of her. But I don't know. This story here gets me kind of like baffled a little bit, because I didn't know that he did this. I didn't know that he humiliated her like this. He made her feel like this. So if you got a friend and your friend is in trouble, if you are a real friend, get your ass in there and get your friend out. Because I supported my friend until she left. And I'm still supporting her to this day. So yeah, bestie, I know you're watching. So I'm just going to say this. If you have a friend, whether it's your best friend or your close friend or something like this, check on your fucking friend. Check on your friend, because you never know what they're going through. So like I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I thank y'all for watching. And I'll see y'all in my next story.
How long we've been waiting on you. You shouldn't have even gone to bingo. Damn nut.
Kiss my ass.